How's it going, people? Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to Turkish Talks. It's been a little while since we've done one of these. The season's over and all of that. I was going to do this on Monday, but I thought we got Big Six. Going to do this on Tuesday, but I had to do some content elsewhere. So we're here on Wednesday, a few days after the fact of the matter. Second place finish yet again. Disappointing, but as you've seen from interviews and content regarding me recently, I've been in worse places. We can put it like that. I've been in worse places. Hit the like button, people. Make sure you're subscribed. Do all of that stuff. I'm on about 88.8k, so close to 90, close to 100. Imagine that, close to 100. And I ain't really been doing content like that. Even though Title Talk and OGs, big up Curtis, big up Steve, big up James. That's been running recently. Best believe 1st of June, we go, people. We go transfer stuff. Euros as well. I'm going out there. Turkey, Portugal. So I don't know. You lot tell me, what do you want to see? I'm going out to see Turkey, Portugal. Should I vlog it? But you see me, I'm just like, if I'm going to vlog it, I'm just going to do it on my phone. Or maybe I ask Matisse for a camera or something, because he's leveled up so much that guy can start renting that equipment now. Big up Matisse. But yeah, people, I'm seeing a lot of people in the chat. Like I said, hit the like button, make sure you subscribe. Let's get to 89k. I'm less than 200 away from 89k at least. If we can get that on this stream, love for the love. Love for the love anyway. Same way. Big up Lee. I see you in the chat. Big up Fizzy as well. Come on. John Z. Phone vlog is good, yeah? Come on. Antenna, Ethiopia. Big up, man. Love for the love, man. Aran, so far I'm only just going Turkey, Portugal right now in Dortmund. I don't know, man. From there, once I get out there, I'll see. Like I'm out there for 4 nights. From Thursday, 20th, I think, for 4 nights. Game's 22nd on Saturday. I'll see. I mean, can probably get tickets for the next Turkey game, but Turkey Portugal's the one I really want to see. Obviously, Ronaldo's last international tournament as well, so it makes sense. Arda Güler as well. People are watching, or are you not watching? What's going on at Real Madrid? I hope you're watching, people. He's next up. It's about time as well. It's about time. That last Euros was a false dawn. Dark horses, they said. But listen, let's not even look back that much. There's recent pain to talk about, and that pain is obviously finishing runners up. 2 points behind. Took it to the wire, but as we all saw, it wasn't enough. So yeah, what can we do? You know what these streams are about. It's more about you, questions, Q&A, all of that. Like I said, not a lot changed. Last time we spoke, I think it was after we got knocked out the Champions League, I believe. That was the last Turkish talks I did. Yeah, it was title hopes alive, Champions League exit, transfer window targets. That was the last one. But to be honest, a title doesn't dictate where these streams go. More time it's a title, and then we go talking about what we need to talk about. So, we got to do what we got to do. Yeah, big up Lee. Great video quality, the 14 Pro Max. And yeah, it's true. I'll do that. This West Brom guy, I've already warned you, brother. I don't even mind you chatting shit, but every single comment's going to be you chatting shit. If I see you one more time, then it's au revoir. But you can also make a new account and come back and subscribe, and that's one close to subscriber to 89k. So in fact, let me block you now, because you probably will make another account. Ban user, delete their comments. Come back as Sunderland or something. Good afternoon, Lexa. Come on. YouTube's bugging. Why is it bugging? Man, to be honest, it's bugging on my end here because it's saying there's 4 people watching live. So if all 4 of you can subscribe, that'd be nice. But yeah, here we are. Oh shit, we got a super chat there. Big up Mohammed. Big up man like Turkish. New number 8 or new number 9? Both. It's not or. It can't be or. Has to be and. 8 and 9. That's what we need. Or maybe we can go into that later, because I'm sure people will want to ask questions, and I'm sure there's a lot of people in the comment section right now watching live. Oh, does it say 5 viewers on your end as well, people? Let me see. Let me see what's going on your end. 2 watching, yeah? Big up, both of you. Love for the love. That's dedication. That is dedication. But fuck it, we got 129 likes. People, make yourself known with the like button. Right now, it says 3 people watching. So I want to know how many is really watching. Hit the like button so I can find out. But yeah, cool. We got Mo for the super chat. Teddy says 5 YouTube on the madness. As long as the stream's blessed, is the stream blessed? Can you hear me well? The chat's working fine. That's it, right? All the number stuff and all that. We'll worry about that after, man. I'll worry about that after. Big up Broderick as well. Come on, my bro. Shamaraya. Come on. Shamaraya. 3:30, 4 o'clock. It's FC24 over on Playback. Big up the people supporting on Playback as well. I'm close to 1,000 on Playback as well. So if you haven't come over to Playback, I bang at FC24 once a day, every day. Career mode, it's not going well. I started as Arsenal manager. I'm now Luton manager. So if you want to find out more, go over to Playback. You can replay them as well. Hard done by, but it ain't easy, as Saeed likes to say. And I'm going live later on FC24. So big up Malik, Sui, Nick, Martin. Come on. Ryan, come on, my bro. Come on. To be honest, I'm going to bring the call-ins and that to Playback as well. It's just such a easier function. I mean, I watch Matisse's ones and it's just simple. So just go over there and join the room. There's going to be more content as well there. Matisse, I was talking about you earlier, bro. I need to rent a camera for Turkey, Portugal, bro. I told people that you've got so much equipment now that you can do rentals. So I want to rent it, but I also want a 5-finger discount. Can we do that? A free rental? Talk to me. You got my number, bro. You got my number. It's all mad over at Chelsea as well. Shit. We're talking about Arsenal now, but we could talk about Chelsea, but I don't want to talk about Chelsea. It's just funny. It's funny. It's good. It's nice. It's all over the gaff. McKenna, Enzo. Go subscribe to Matisse, people. Go subscribe to Matisse. It's going to be turbulent times throughout the summer, and he's already leveled up. So go show him some love. Look at him. He's cussing me in the chat. I'm trying to help my friends. He's close to 90K as well. Go support him. Go support him. Regardless. Man, I'm saying 6 people. The YouTube's bugging. The numbers is bugging, people. So don't worry about the numbers. Yeah? Don't worry about the numbers. Daniel says, how can I join your pro clubs? FC24 Big 6 is tonight as well at 10 o'clock. How can you join? So right now, we've got a few people who've secured their place. But after this round, like when this, clubs ends with like some playoff thing at the end and then it resets to Division 5. So once that comes in, bang, the new members come in and slot in. But don't get it twisted. If the new members come in and they're dead, they're out. People have got to come in and listen. We're close to Division 2. We've flopped in the playoffs twice. We need to go again tonight. But if we don't make Division 1, then we have to do it in Season 2. And Season 2 is when the other members come on board. Nick, I answered this on FCM. I mean, I find it strange that someone or people would ask, what would you think if it's another year? Let it be another year, and then you can ask me. I've got no problem with the question if it's coming up to another year, or we know in November that we're not going to win it. There's no point in me preempting it. All I'm saying is we must win something next season, and by something I mean a major. I think the Premier League. I said we're going to win the Premier League. I said it because I believe it. There's hope there. There's, Man City will still be favourites, but I think I've seen enough from us to say confidently that I believe we will. If he doesn't, we'll talk. We'll talk. That's all we can do, right? If you're asking me now, then there's not going to be no questions for the end of next season. Why don't we, focus the questions on this season? Let's do that. Big up Nick. Matisse said, looks like we're coming. Pep's former borders. What? The battle of the bridesmaids. There's only 2 on my side. Was laggy at the beginning, but all blessed now. Any thoughts on Rodri comments and also Poch out, obviously, in your own time? Glad to hear it's not laggy no more, people. If it is, it's YouTube, it ain't me. Internet's crisp right now. I'm looking at it, full bars, Ethernet plugged in. Thoughts on Rodri? Rodri's a bit weird for that, if I'm honest with you, because it's like I get it, I understand, but we could have fucked it all at the end, and people are just looking at that side of the coin because now we've lost it. We could have gone for it at Etihad and lost 2-1, 3-1. We could have lost. We would have probably not taken it to game week 38. So this question wouldn't have come about. We could have gone there, gone for it, and won, which is rare at the Etihad. You can ask Liverpool about it as well. It's not an easy place to go and win. We could have gone there, gone, won, and won the league. Maybe we wouldn't have won the league. Maybe Villa still cost us. Because in the end, if we're really looking at these single games now in the run-up, then it's if we beat City, they're on a point less, and we've got 2 points more, right? So how would that put the final table? They finished 2 points above us, 1 point above us. So would be 1 point above them, right? Would be 1 point above them if we had beaten them and everything else remained the same. But who's to say we wouldn't have drawn another game or lost? It's for me, Rodri's comments are a bit weird, but it is what it is. I mean, 4 points out of 6 against City. It's not against City we lost it. It's not against the big 6 sides we lost it. We lost it in the first half when we were transitioning into what we become in 2024. And as I mentioned again on FCM, the cost became greater. The cost of that transition from what we was in 22-23 to what we become in the calendar year 2024. Essentially, we look back and we can say, look, 4 games against Fulham and Aston Villa, and we got 1 point. So we can look back at all of that. Rodri, I mean, they got 1 point out of 6 against us. Again, they didn't win it against us, and it's funny because people like to say, "Oh, see, who the hell is that?" But people like to say, City won in a great place, when we played them. But then the people are also saying that from December they hadn't had lost a game, and you look at that run and they're great and genius. And so we played them in April? Was it April or March? We played them in April, innit? April or March we played them. That's slap bang 3 months off into their run of not losing a game. But somehow they wasn't the same. Don't get it twisted. I looked at them and said, we can win this game, but we can't lose this game. People are now knocking us for not going to the Etihad and winning. It's a bit strange, but Rodri's made his comments. It is what it is. It's the internet that runs with it and makes of it, what they will. So, Poch out. I ain't really got thoughts. Again, I don't really care too much about what's going on there. Until I need to care, I don't care. It's funny from afar. It's funny because Matisse wanted, like, obviously Matisse my guy, but example, wanted him in, and I get it. I've rated Poch in the past as well. Shit's hitting the fan. It's not going well, and I get it. You want him out. This is the life of a football fan. I don't know how the internet has labeled it flip flop and that. If you win games and things are going well, you're happy. If you lose games and things ain't going well, then you're more than likely going to be unhappy. Some might look at the brighter side and maybe light at the end of the tunnel, but essentially, if that form carries on, then it becomes borderline delusion. So just as Poch turns it around, and then Matisse is seeing maybe something of what he believed he would have saw earlier on, because Poch reputation, he wanted him. The club just sack him. Like, what's going on? What's going on? I caught some of Matisse's playback, and I've seen some of his the breaking news. Was it emergency? One of them when the news broke. So yeah, he's a bit bamboozled. But yeah, funny from afar. Funny from afar. I grew up on this Chelsea. No disrespect, yeah, because I disrespect Chelsea prior to Roman, yes, but Matisse is right, and Chelsea fans are right. Before Roman, they did have something. They had some trophies here and there. They had some European, is it UEFA Cup, or one of them cup winners or whatever. So I disrespect like that, but that's part of the game. But I grew up on them being a decent side with a couple quality players dotted throughout here and there. Zola, Hasselbank. Torre Andre Flo, Gudjonsson, Dan Petrescu. Um, I said yesterday, Ed De Goey. I don't know why I remember him like that, but I just remember Channel 5 football in the snow and he was in goal with the orange footballs. I don't know if people are old enough to remember that, but Channel 5 used to do UEFA Cup, and it just felt like every time Chelsea played away, it was in the snow. Torre Andre Flo, just lanky, orange ball. But yeah, sorry, I've delved away from the point of Poch out. So yeah, I feel like they're kind of back to where they was you know, of me growing up supporting Arsenal. So for me, it's familiar. It's familiar. I know for a lot of the young people out there, it's like, fucking hell, look at this juggernaut. They was winning Champions Leagues when I was in year 8, and I can't believe this. I get that. It depends on the generation you grow up in. For me, Chelsea. I'm familiar. I'm familiar. Big up Louis. Let me get this. Oh shit, 6 in. Big up Jimbo. Love Turkish. Rough how the season ended, but nobody can tell us our boys didn't give their all. Next season we go again. Yeah, yeah. That's the general feeling. And then people will take off that. Oh, you're happy with second, or you're defending second. No, I'm not happy. I'm not happy. I'm the one that tells people these seasons are the ones that get forgotten about. You know, no one talks about how George Graham built the defensive unit that Wenger inherited and won everything he won, or not everything, but up until 2002. No one talks about that. So 100% we must win. We must. But there's circumstances around everything. Like Wenger 97, 98, first full season, wins the league, goes 3 more years not winning the league. I just want. I I probably got some of the people in. I love. I don't want everyone to agree with me. So if there's people that disagree, if there's people that are also saying you sold your soul and all of this, sold out business, then speak up, because I like these conversations. So this would be perfect timing. But I just want you lot to be honest and tell yourselves, yeah, be honest. If this social media world was around in 97, 98, 98, 99, 99, 2000, 2000, 2000, if it was around, without a shadow of a doubt, Wenger would have been disrespected. Wenger would have been hounded by the online fan base. The standards would have been questioned. All of this stuff, right? I'm 99.9% sure of it. 99.9999% sure of it. Then he doesn't do the Invincibles. And I'm not saying that's where Arteta's headed, because none of us know. When I say we'll win the league next year, it's not a fact. It's not based off of any confirmed. It's just based off of what I've seen and the hope and belief it's given me. 98, 99, I thought we'll win the league. 99, 2000, I thought we'll win the league. 2000, 2001, I thought we'll win the league. We didn't. We didn't. Don't get it twisted. There's also examples of managers being given time and it's still not working out. Not many, but there are. So there's two sides of the coin, and that's all I'm saying. Again, I've said recently, like, what did I say? That got it was a couple of weeks ago now. I think it was my interview after United, when I said I'm back in love. Like, do you get it? And when I said I'm proud to be supporting Arsenal, people have misconstrued that to say, I'm proud of us finishing second and I'm proud of no trophies and stuff. But the internet is the internet. There's nothing I can do. Yeah, and I don't really care. Obviously, when I'm talking to my community and my people, even the people in my community that don't agree with me, because again, if we wouldn't be a community, we all agree with each other and we're all yes men. And we've got a challenge. I think I look back and when I was growing up supporting Arsenal, like in my first few years supporting Arsenal, listen, I was a kid. I was a kid. We didn't win stuff. We wasn't great. I think we finished 11th one year, 11th, 12th, maybe 10th. Don't quote me on that, but it's around that. I was a kid. I was in primary school. Obviously, that's where the banter starts, and that's where you come in. You talk about football. Then 97, 98 comes. But even during those years, like the reason I talk about Adam so much, and I raise his name every time we're talking about Arsenal legends or all-time 11s or whatever, is because like he embodied the club I was supporting, even though at the time when I was supporting them, they wasn't winning. We wasn't winning, and we started winning. But did that mean that ah Adams became greater to me, or Ian Wright even became no? Because at the time of supporting, they was part of the reasons I was supporting the club. Now football's changed a lot, where you're laughed at if you love or like a player in your side because the first rebuttal back is no Premier Leagues, no Champions Leagues, no FA Cup. These are rebuttal, and it's just such a surface level argument that when you're talking about love and being proud of your club, it's not based. It's a lot deeper than just saying you're proud of second. You're proud of no trophies. Of course not. You're talking to me here. How many years have I been banging on that we need to win majors? Actually, one good thing actually. This is a good example. Wenger went how many years without winning a trophy, yeah? And he had credit in the bank, a lot of it. Fine. I've made it known that when Van Persie left Arsenal or went United, that was the time I really said, this club ain't serious, man. I'm not in love with what this club is doing. I love Arsenal, but this ain't Arsenal. That's when it was Arsenal Football Company. It wasn't the club that I grew up supporting, loving. But let's just say 20. Let's just say what? What year did Wenger win the FA Cup? 13, 14, 14, 15, 16, 17, right? And then he left 17, 18 at the end of it. Yeah, I'm pretty sure. Let's just say Wenger he left in 17, 18. Let's say in 15, 16, yeah? Because since I arrived on the YouTube circuit, I've said Wenger needed to go because he's the shield for Kroenkes. But let's just say I done my interview February 2017. So that was the 16-17 season, yeah? 16-17 season. We won the FA Cup that year, right? 16-17. Okay, so we won the FA Cup that year, but Bayern Munich, Champions League, 10-2. Yeah, 10-2. Okay. Let's say 17-18 started off the back of that FA Cup, because off the back of these FA Cups, I said, listen, these FA Cups are great. Majors, I love the FA Cup, and it's those FA Cups go a long way in why we are the best team in history in the FA Cup. In 17-18, let's say it was November or December, and we are top by 5 points. Or let's say like we was 22-23, or we was behind first by 4 points, or whatever it was this season just gone. Do you think my approach to Wenger would have been as harsh as it was that season? Or do you think as a fan, you'd look at it and think, as much as we fucked about for all these years, it seems like finally, and this is the hope and copium, and this is how being a football fan is, it'd be like, it's Wenger at the end of the day, and there's no point in thinking about the last 8 years or whatever it was. He's challenging right now, so we can potentially win it. And if his last 2 years, 16, 17, 17, 18, was title challenging seasons, the rhetoric around Wenger wouldn't have been Wenger out as harsh as it was. 100%. He would have been questioned because he hadn't got over the line. But as a fan base, we would have been looking at and saying, he's challenged for the league 2 years in a row. He's pushed. It's different then to now because there's Pep Guardiola in the league. So there's probably a stronger argument then to say, why is he not getting it over the line? Cool. But actually 16, 17, when did Pep even, actually Pep was even there 16, 17, 17, 18. So yeah, that's even involved in the argument. So as much as people talk about my opinion of Arteta now and compare it to, your standards under Wenger was so much different, like you've sold out, and it was very different circumstances. If Wenger was challenging for the league title at the very least, I wouldn't say I'm happy with that just. But if after all those years of not challenging, fucking about, 16, 17 we challenged, 17, 18 we challenged, it's a different feeling. And there would have been more case to be like, yeah, you know what? It looks like we're back. Let's see. Would it have been enough if we didn't? No, I'm not saying it would have. I'm not saying it would have, but you can't compare standards when we're speaking about that end of Wenger era to what it is now. Do you get what I'm saying? Sorry, I'm missing a lot of the chat as well. And another one, another one. Since he joined AFTV, his opinions have changed. I wish I could edit this because a light bulb would appear on the top of my head right now. Light bulb moment. Did anyone ever think when I joined AFTV, I say joined, I just started doing more content. When I started doing more content at AFTV, we was eighth. We was eighth. I was fucking pissed off. Go back to those videos. Don't change the rhetoric. I was saying it every video. I've only just changed in the last maybe 6 to 12 months. We was eighth when I first started doing more content AFTV. We're challenging for league titles now. So of course, I just don't understand how people's logic leads to these kind of roads, you know. And then they link the sold out thing to AFT. Arsenal Football Club don't like me. So when people say sold out, I'd love to just ask each and every one, what am I getting? Just so I know, because I must have missed my delivery, or maybe they've got the wrong bank details. Because what am I getting? Because if you insinuate someone sold their soul, it means they're getting something, right? You've done it for a reason. What could, and every time, because there's a few people I've met that have said this and I like it, I'll ask them straight. What do you mean by that? You know the Drewski meme. What do you mean by that? That's bang on. What do you mean by that? They can never explain what they mean. Oh, you used to think this, but you think that. Okay, but why have you linked that to selling my soul? Do you know how big? Do you know what that statement is? I'm a man of integrity, you know. Do you know what to say? Someone sold their soul is mad, let alone over Arsenal or football or sport. They're not even insinuating man sold his soul for the bag, or I don't know, for endless riches and success. They're just saying I sold my soul because I don't know. That's what I don't even know. I don't even know. So it's just weird to me. There's no real base. It's got a shock factor. It's like Turkish sold his soul, or flip flop, or it's got a shock factor when you put. But it's very surface level. It's very surface level. I've got no reason other than what I'm seeing, what I believe, my natural being the keyword feeling, to why my opinions might have seemed to have changed. Seem to have, because I still hold a lot of the opinions I've always held. It's just delivered in a different manner. I used to be a lot more aggressive and harsh and loud with the way I put things across. And listen, when you're like that, it's easy. And this is a life skill I've learned. When you're like that in general, it's easy to dismiss someone like that because he's loud. Regardless of what I've said, I could be speaking the most facts in the world. He's loud. He wants attention. He's always like that. It doesn't matter what you say if you deliver it in certain ways. If I say the same thing that gets that reception in a different way, it's like shit. He knows what he's talking about, or shit, I can't rip him because he's being quite balanced and he isn't being emotionally led, even though sometimes it's football. You know, I love the club. When fucking Son missed that chance, I'm fucking vexed. When we lost to Villa, I'm fucking vexed, and so on. But it's, you have to be able to understand how to deliver a message in the time you're in my opinion. I can't deliver the same message regarding my feelings about Arsenal now the same way that I did in 2017 or in 2019. Completely different circumstances. Completely different circumstances. And for someone to want, or people to want that to be the case, it doesn't make sense to me. But yeah, I mean, we're in this world. I don't mind it. Like I said, I like people questioning and doubting. Just worried people will want him sacked, says Nick, and I don't agree. That's fair enough. That's fair enough. Turkish, when will the draft winner be announced? It looks like I've won that. It looks like I've won that, but it will be announced soon. We've got to sort out Grizz's forfeit, and yeah, there's obviously a forfeit for the draft as well. So we'll sort that out real soon. Big up. Big up. Oh, come on. Big up, boss man. Fener rejected Arsenal's initial offer for Ferdi, apparently. Also, pro clubs inquiry, send them to my way. I structure it on the Discord. There you go, people. If you're on the membership side of the Big Six YouTube channel, then you should be in the Discord. If you're not, again, forward messages to the Big Six account on Instagram or Twitter. That would be the best place. If you're not on the Discord, but you are a member on YouTube, we'll help you through the process. You just got to link your YouTube channel to the Discord, and the activation is there. But if you need help, then we can help you along the way as well. Big up Owen. Sign Grealish, Osimhen, and a wingback. Sell Smith Rowe, Martinelli, Zinchenko, and Eddie. Thoughts? Off the bat, no. And that's just my initial thoughts. Grealish, I don't want him. I'd rather I think Liao hasn't had a good season, but I think I'd rather a Liao type of winger than a Grealish type. I think Grealish has become very methodical, and it's hard to know if he's still got that freedom to express in him anymore. So, and Arteta's the type of manager to use him in the way Pep. Whereas I think we need a winger that he can just do something out of nothing, or he can go into the box and be a big threat. So I think Grealish, no. Osimhen, again, I'm thinking Isak. I mean, if you change these names to, I mean, you're being very optimistic here. That's hundreds of millions right there. Grealish and Osimhen alone is probably, you know, if it was even possible, you're talking close to 200 M's. Yeah. If we're talking that money, then I think Liao and Isak would be much better names. And a wing back. Yeah. I mean, I think we need an 8. I think we need an 8 more. Actually, not more than. I think we need a striker, an 8, and a winger. Striker's the most important, but the next two are very close behind and are equally as important to each other. And then after those three, I think then a wing back, maybe. Can't forget for wing back, we have Tomiyasu, we have Timber, we have Ben White. So yeah, we've got Zinchenko, but I'd assume maybe there's something going to happen with Zinchenko. But we'll see. We'll see. Big up Aran. He says, I'm not one to guess cup competitions, but next year I want them. 2 different finals at Wembley would be great, but it should be a bonus to a league title. 100% it should be a bonus. I mean, listen, FA Cup can stand on its own. It doesn't stand on its own next to the Premier League and Champions League in terms of credentials, but it stands on its own like Carabao Cup can't. And that's just my opinion. Carabao Cup, you win that, listen, you forget about it by March because you're focused on the next 3 competitions you should still be in, or 2 competitions you should still be in. Carabao Cup for me, biscuit, you need the tea. Yeah, biscuit without tea, dry. Yeah, Carabao Cup, dry. Not my bag of tea. Thank you very much. If, you know, people will mention Pep. Yes, he won it with how many other trophies? You know, no one looks back and says, do you remember that Carabao Cup campaign from City in 16, 17 or whatever? I've never heard no one say that about the Carabao Cup before in history. I've heard that about FA Cup, Champions League, even Europa League. I've heard that about UEFA Cup. I've never heard no one say, "Fucking hell, do you remember Jose in the Carabao Cup that year?" Because you forget about it 2 weeks later. You, you forget about it. People can say I'm disrespectful. Or, who do you think you are? Brother, the proof is facts. It's everyone forgets and no one cares if that's all you win. And I didn't wait 21 years to care about that. You know, I'll be honest with you. Because saying that we should insinuates that, and this is where I'd say, because the same people that will question my standards, yeah, the same people that question my standards, yeah, would be the same people that said, you need to go for the Carabao Cup. Okay. So does that mean, and this is a definite no, does that mean next year, if we win the Carabao Cup, finish second, FA Cup semi and Champions League quarterfinal or semi, does that mean those people would be happy? No. So I don't get why people get onto me about not rating the Carabao Cup. I'm trying to win things that will give us the credentials that I grew up knowing Arsenal for. And Carabao Cup just doesn't do that, you know. And else says, if you do not win any cup this cup, again, would you still want Arteta to stay? Look, this question is very. There, we must win a trophy next year, and really, It's got to be the Premier League for me, and I think we will. But let's say we are third, 12 points off, 15 points off. Or let's say we lose on goal difference after our new striker, Isak, breaks his leg in March. Circumstances are very different. Do you get it? So I'd rather answer that question in next season when we know what's going on towards the end. If we don't know how it's going to end, by that I mean in November, we might be 15 points off the top. Ask me then. Ask me then. But asking now when, in my opinion, we're in a good place. In my opinion, we're going to win the league. What do you think? If I'm saying to you we're going to win the league, and I believe we should be able to do that, and it's about time now, like 5 years now, it'll be 5 seasons next one. We have to. What do you think that insinuates? That I'm going to be happy if we don't? And you've seen me when I'm not happy. So I think the question's a non-question for now. Until we know for now. Transfer window, for example. Let's just say we go sign Isak, 140 mil, and we go sign Frankie de Jong, and we don't win the league. What do you think I'm going to say? It's easy to know. It's easy to know, but people want sound bites and things now for something that we won't know till next season. I'm telling you, we must win a major trophy. I'm telling you, I believe we'll win the Premier League. When those things are either no longer possible or confirmed to be true, I think that's when we really should talk. That's my opinion of it. Politician. Martin says, why does everyone diss Arsenal? Social media was mad on Monday and bantered the club like we effed it up. It's just general internet now. The internet's like that. I mean, we do get a hell of a lot, and that's why I, put us as the most hated. But even like, look at Liverpool and Klopp. Look at the way like a lot of people online disrespect a manager like Klopp and his achievements at Liverpool. I think it's sad the state of fans now, online in particular. Very sad. I think it's lost its way. I think it's always been pretty bad, but I think in recent years it's just ramped up. It's just ramped up no end. There's no balanced thinking. There's no normality. Is that a word? I think so. If not, you know what I mean. It just feels very manufactured and very forced daily. How can I rattle this person? How can I rattle them? How can I, get under that person's skin? What can I tweet that might get 1 million impressions? What that being the base of everything has caused the football fan market. To be embarrassing, in my opinion. Yeah, it even gives like, and when you really deep it, like when I was growing up, I never used to hear from Tottenham fans that, big up West Ham. I never used to hear much from. I used to know them, but they wouldn't ever come take arguments and show chest to an Arsenal fan, for example. There's always banter there, and you might argue about a player or two, but in terms of what we're seeing now, there was a level of understanding of where you are as the club and the club you support, and there was a level to how can the club in 7th or 9th or 12th talk in a certain way to the person supporting the club in 1st or 2nd or 3rd? Now that whole thing is out the window. You could have fans of clubs that are relegated that are talking shit to fans of clubs that have finished second in the Premier League or gone to a final of the Champions League or whatever. There's no decorum in online fans anymore, if there ever was. Gary says, would you want to see Arda Güler at Arsenal's next? Yeah, he has scored 6 goals in 5 games. I mean, it's a weird one because I've liked how Ancelotti has brought him in. A lot of people have doubted whether Ancelotti even likes him, but he's kind of just protected him a little bit. And really and truly, look how many young players are already playing for Real Madrid. So to add another one in, I get it, and it's worked out pretty well. He's ended the season strong. Would I like him at Arsenal? Of course, I'd like him at Arsenal, without a shadow of a doubt. Would he be available? Probably not. Probably not. If he was available for a loan, I mean, I don't think Arsenal are in a. I'd love it. I'm Turkish in it, but I don't think Arsenal are in a place where loaning a 18-year-old, 19-year-old, 17, whatever, I think it's this 17, turning 18 or whatever, a teenager. I don't think we're in a place where loaning a teenager is the sensible option to kick on next year and challenge City again and take it off them. So if I take out my bias of being Turkish, then wouldn't make sense to me, even available for loan. But as a player, I think he's going to be a top player. I think he's going to be a top player. There's been links to Ferdi for a little while now. I don't watch Fenerbahce week in, week out, and I don't watch Turkish football week in, week out. To be honest, I watched it last weekend, and yeah, it is what it is. Too little, too late for Fenerbahce, but closest we've come in a long time. Imagine that Arsenal second final day of the season. Fenerbahce are going to be second final day of the season. Peak. What kind of life is that? Turkey better do something at these Euros, because bruv, it's just like man needs to win something while I'm doing content. I to I need to be happy. I'm happy, but I need to be ecstatic on the internet. I remember Matisse after Champions League final, or Steve after trebles, or like I just want to be, over the moon. But yeah, no, I don't know. I can't. I don't even know if the links are true. If I'm honest with you, all said apparently a bid's been rejected or a bid's come in. I forgot what he said earlier, but I don't know. I think it's very early to. It's very early to say. Then again, I would have thought they're working on targets from about January, and his name has been linked. So maybe he is. Maybe there is base to that. But listen, I'm gonna do the transfer shows anyway. It's still early. We're still a few days off last season. So yeah, if City win 3+ more titles, we must next season. If City win 3+ more titles. Oh, what's that? Oh, they're on 10. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah. Don't worry, I've seen it. I know. I know. David says, I really hope Arteta is ruthless this summer. All the fringe players got to go and need to be replaced with real quality. 100%. 100%. We can go through. There's a long list of names, actually. There's a long list of names. It just feels like we had done most of our work, but we had done most of the groundwork, the base, the starting 11. Even though I think we need a couple more starting 11, but now you look at it, El Nene Cedric already bounced. Smith Rowe, Eddie Nketiah, Ramsdale, Reece Nelson, Thomas Partey I'll include, Zinchenko I'll probably include. That's 8 players in total from the first team squad, and I'm sure I'm missing one. Let me just see what the chat's saying. I'm sure I'm missing one. But yeah, that's 8 players there already. Maybe one youngster, Nwaneri, steps up into the squad and starts getting some game time. Carabao Cup, maybe, and light FA Cup ones, if there is any, depending on the draw. But I'd expect, fringe players got to go and real quality to come in. And by real quality, players that are going to push Saka or push Martinelli or push whoever. Not players that are just going to come sit and know that they're behind. Tevin says, big up my G, no fret about them guys. The reason why I support you is because you were always balanced, even on thoughts I disagreed with you on. Your impact is bigger than you think. Don't change my G. Tevin, man, big up, my bro. Big up. And you know what it is? People say, oh, don't worry. I like debates. Do you get it? I like being challenged, because then it allows me to be able. FCM was a good example. No one. Do you know how many messages I got about FCM? DR Sports clips that the clips channel. They clipped up, and a lot of people like, Turkish, I ain't seen you like this. Like, rah, rah, rah. Like, yeah, it's mad. This is what we wanted on the big six. It's just, firstly, Arsenal are in a good place, so I can actually back the side. Might fall flat on your face, on my face, but at the end of the day, I'm backing something naturally that I believe in. And these men were trying to challenge from all angles. And then it allows me to break down arguments. Do you get it? Like the stuff we've talked about here. So I do like when people challenge, but I get you. I get you. Tevin, this is why you've been here from pretty much day one, bro. Rich says, will sound mad. I don't think we need a 9. I need Instead, a 6'8" like Bruno Guimaraes and cover competition for Saka, like a Kudus, Bowen, Jesus, Martinelli better next season. Jesus, if an offer comes in, I'd probably consider. I'll be honest, he's not the same player, but I wouldn't mind him either staying and being an impact player off the bench. So either or for Jesus, Martinelli must be better next season. It's a massive season for him. Disagree with you on the striker front. Disagree. I'd go all in on his sec or a striker in general. A Pender for me is someone I like, but at the end of the day, I don't watch him week in, week out either. But a couple years now that I've been watching him, he looks a good shout. But Isak would be the one that I break the transfer record on. If that's what we're on now, that's what we're on. I'd do 120 M's. I'd do 100. No, he's 24, right? Or 25, yeah? His profile is perfect. He can drop, he can collect, he can get in behind. He's good on the ball technically. He's got a finish. For me, there's no one known close to him. There might be the undercover gems that, oh shit, we got this guy for 35 million from Palmeiras and he comes in and he's even better than his sec. Maybe. But if I'm talking about the known entities out there in the striking position, I think no one really coming close to him. So I've dismissed it in the past, or I haven't mentioned him because I just thought Newcastle rich. But the more we hear about Newcastle, the more we understand that, listen, they need something. And no Champions League football next season. I'm hearing rumours that there's a clause that the wages come down, and I don't think Isak's on that much. I think he's on about 120k. So if wages are coming down from that because of no Champions League, then yeah, I mean, he might be in a place where we can rattle him. And fuck it. You know how many teams rattled our players over the years? Enough of them. So if we need to rattle, let's rattle. Yeah? Tell him to put a transfer request in. Bang the 120 M's on the table. No one's going to come close to that because only City really would be able to do that. And they got Haaland. So do what you need to do. Jimbo says, with Ben White showing he can do the inverted role really well, would you entertain giving Tierney another run? I'd feel more comfortable with him than Zinni. I haven't monitored Tierney's progress, so I can't say. I believe he got injured again, but I believe he wasn't. Let me just search how many appearances he made. Firstly, I just need to know how many appearances before I even talk about anything else. Let me just, bro. 13 starts. Like, no. That alone will tell me no. That alone, and I like Tierney, but 13 starts in La Liga. It's over. It's over. Where are we? What about your soul? Says, happy with the progress, but I just think the window for success will not stay open as long as people think. I agree with you. In the next 12 months, we need a major or key players will go. Yes. That is the point that lies behind all of these questions and all that. I say we must next year because it can all fall apart. Never mind the manager. These players, Saka, Saliba, Martinelli, Odegaard, they're going into 2 years that summer, 2025. So that's when the players' power comes into play and they become the more powerful entity in the process. And you don't want to be the less powerful entity in the same summer against Saka, Odegaard, Martinelli, Saliba. We don't want that. Do you remember when that happened with Ozil and Sanchez? God knows why we let both contracts pretty much go the same years, because it just put us in a situation where it's one or the other. But we've got to make sure that, and I'm confident. Honestly, I'm confident. In terms of this, the window for success not staying open as long as people think. Yes, if you connect it to the players, for sure, and how they're thinking. Because taking that out, I'd argue the window for success has been created when it didn't look like it would be possible with Mikel Arteta and Pep Guardiola in this league. Who would have thought that? By that I mean, who would have thought Mikel would be challenging Pep, even if it has taken 4 years? Like, who would have thought it? We can argue about how long it's taken and whether it's good enough or not good enough, and that's a separate argument. But I don't think none of us would have actually thought Mikel in 3-4 seasons will be challenging Pep Guardiola. So he's created the window of success, and there's an argument that when Pep goes, if he goes, the window of success widens. all windows open, then I guess. So that's a bit skewed, and again, it comes back to what the players are thinking. You know, for them now. We're not talking about me. We're not talking about you or the fan base. For the players, how would they feel if we go another season without a trophy, and then Real Madrid test the waters with Saliba, and Man City test the waters with Saka, or just something? How would that go about? Or would these players think, "Fucking hell, Pep's gone now, so it's our time. We have to." And I'm not saying they'd be right, or that's how football works. What I'm saying is, how are they thinking? Because something we have to give credit for to Arteta is, the dressing room he's created. You know, the dressing room he's created. So yeah, yeah. Hope that answers the question. I guess. What about yourself? Big up, Brandon. Been supporting Arsenal for 25 years, but according to some UK YouTubers, because I don't live over there, I don't know shit about football. Most supporters of YouTube channels come from abroad. Big up from Memphis, Turkish. To be honest with you, that argument, I've seen it online for years. I've seen it online for years. Ah, you're not from the local area, so you're not as big a fan. You're not from the country, so you're not as big a fan. Now, I will say that when you grow up and you're around the stadium and you are able to attend games, you feel a deeper connection that cannot be what's the word? Cannot be replicated from afar. But people shouldn't confuse that for bigger support, because I don't think it is. Because, for example, like, I've got a lot of Australians, Americans like yourself, waking up at mad hours to watch games. Mad hours. Yeah, you lot know me. Forever Arsenal. How many times have I been late for an 8 a.m. podcast? Imagine me getting up for a 4 a.m. game. So quantifying the level of support or how much a supporter matters from different regions, it's impossible to do. And I don't know why it's a comparison, in my honest opinion. There's different values for different things. But I do think, and I think you'd agree, Brandon, that when you grow up and you live around the club or the whatever it is, organization, and you're able to be, it's a privilege that connects you a bit more to the club, in terms of your internal thinking. Externally, to you, Brandon, for example, you might think, who gives a fuck if you can go to a game or not? Do you get it? Because you've got your own value as a fan. And that's where I don't get the argument, because you can't compare. You can't compare. And I don't mean that in a disrespectful sense. I just mean that bro, we're all fans of the club. What's the point in comparing or even bothering about what you bring over in America, or what I bring here in North London, or what Max brings in Australia, or what whoever brings in Kenya? Or do you get what I'm saying? Whether you buy shirts or not, whether there's so many different metrics to support and all of this stuff that, again, it's not. I'm not here for. I'm here to talk about football, sport, UFC, boxing, music. Sometimes not here to talk about other man or other people like myself. And by that, I just mean a fan of football. That's all I am. That's all I am, a fan of football. So, um, yeah, I understand the frustration, though. I understand the frustration, because it's like a question of integrity, I guess. And like I said earlier, integrity is a big thing. Um, Big up to Be Real. I'd like to see, to be honest, me and Lee ain't done a stream in a long, long time. No, actually, he replaced me on Big Six last year. I can't remember the last one, but potentially. I know a lot of people are um kind of linking people that have said stuff on his channel, or been on his channel before, and there's question. Forget all of that. Like I've just said, I'm not here to talk about other man. Yeah, I'll we'll address opinions and all of that, but that's not my focus ever. I just, I don't really care what people think about my opinions on football. Like, life is so much more than football, that why do I care if someone thinks I sold out like that? I can address it, but I don't lose sleep over it. Why do I care if someone used to respect my opinion and doesn't respect it anymore? Fuck it. Does my son love me? Is my son proud? Is he happy? Yeah, yeah, yeah. Life's great, people. Life's great. You can say whatever you want to say out there. Life's great. That's how I approach life. So yeah, don't get it twisted. Obviously, me and Lee go way back. I said it before. Lee's part of the reason I started the channel. So it would never go that way. It would never. And same way, obviously, you know, if people want to say what they want to say on different platforms, on his platform, couldn't give a shit. Couldn't give a shit. One day, probably paths will cross and it'll become a debate somewhere. But for now, I'm good. I'm good. Nikos says big love for Big Six forever. Best thing about this year tactically was the transition defense, speed and structure to how we get behind the ball is elite. 100%. 100%. The organization, crazy, crazy. And listen, I didn't grow up on this type of football where it was so organized and meticulous. So I'm learning as I go. Mikel's the first manager to bring this new system-based modern day football to this side. So it's hard for me to even continue giving opinions here because I don't know what the fuck's going on. I'm riding the wave, people. Ricky says, big up Turkish, great season for us. Last day and quarterfinals in Champions League, what we wanted. I've never said this in 27 years of supporting Arsenal, but I feel we will win the league next season. Need Isak for it. Listen, bro, Ricky, I've said the same thing. And again, you're someone that's fought along the same lines as me over the years. You've been one of them. There's been a few more in the. Listen, you lot, don't get it twisted. Time, information is there to change opinion. Ignoring ignoring time and information to maintain an opinion can be your downfall. So, and by that I mean in terms of your word. Do you get it? Your word and how much it's not pride in your word. It's Americans used to have a term. I say used to. I don't know if it's still a term over there, but when I was growing up in movies, was it word is bond? Yeah, word is bond, and it kind of means like your word is especially when you're in this industry where I can't see none of you. I can't see none of you. So I don't know Tom, Dick, or Harry in terms of what you look like, ages, profiles, backgrounds, grew up, heritage, all that. I don't know. But what I say is what resonates or what you hold on to or what people say in this industry. So yeah, Americans help me out, man. Word is bond. What's the new version of that? We move. Big up Ricky. Why always me says we can buy Osherman and Isak together. Isak to play on the left, Kai, Nelly, Trossard to be backups, buy Eze to be 8 or Gamaresh, Selje. I want Isak up top though, bro. I want Isak up top. In all honesty, again, why always me? Let me ask you a question. Yeah. Again, Liao and Isak. Liao left wing, challenging Martinelli, competition and all of that. Isak up top, Saka on the right, or Isak on the left, Osherman up top. I think the answer should be Liao on the left, Isak up top, unless you are Nigerian. And big up my Nigerians. But there's also bias there involved, like with me and Arda Güler, for example. I can't really take out my bias. If you ask me, do I want him? Yes. But if you ask me if it's the right thing, no. So yeah, I wouldn't put Osimhen ahead of Isak up top. If it's a choice of both, I'm going Isak without a shadow of a doubt. Why always me? Let me know. Where you from? Let me see if I'm right or if it's just genuine love for the player. I'm looking for your comment. Why always me? Tell me where you're from, bro. Let me just find that. If my what do you call this? Sense. I don't know what you call it, man. You're from Croatia. I'm fucking way off, bro. I'm just out here talking shit. Yeah, but is your background Croatian though, bro? Is your mum and dad Croatian? I thought Croatian was a Nigerian. What the hell is going on out here? I'm waiting. I need to know. Is his family Croatian? Yes. So why do you like Osimhen like this, bro? What's he done? Is he quarter Croatian or something? I don't get it. I don't get it. Nah, let me not dismiss it. That means you genuinely listen. You've definitely seen more of Osimhen than me. So I'm just joking about with you, bro. I'm just joking about. If that's what you want, listen. I don't. If we sent Osimhen in this sack, you think I'm gonna be out here flipping? I ain't gonna be flipping. It's calm. I'll be out here enjoying. Um, Aran again said, if you look at our squad, we almost need to sell more players than keep. We must sell the fringe players. Smith Rowe Eddie. This allows us to get a top 9 DM. Yeah, 100%, Aran. 100%. It's mad. When I actually put it out there, it's crazy. Like when you think it seemed like we've done the majority, but it still seems like we've got to do at least 9, 8 players or something. That's no disrespect. It's the necessary. Wouldn't call it evil, but it's a necessity. Nathan says Australians who have been waking up at 3, 4 a.m. Australians have been waking up at 3, 4 a.m. for 24 years, even during the darkest years. Times we're in now are what we begged for during the dark ages. Big fan of you, Turkish, forever keeping it real. Come on. Nathan, like I said, different values to different fans in different places, whether you're in London, whether you're an Arsenal fan from Manchester, whether you're an Arsenal fan from Croatia, Nigeria, Australia, America, Kenya, wherever wherever. There's different values, you know. Um, but yeah, it's a shame that online's become such a cesspit of nonsense in the football fan industry or football fan market or whatever it is. Gareth says Isak up top for me, already proven he can do it in the Prem. Big up from Ireland. Gareth, big up Ireland as always, you know what it is. And big up you, another one, original. Been here from a long time ago. So love for the love. You know, the other day I was thinking, I don't know if you lot are in the chat, but I was just thinking about the OGs, Taylor, Omar, Jashar. It started with Jashar. Jashar, are you here? 'Cause I ain't seen Jashar's name in a while. Like, I'm not. But that's because I don't do as much content anymore on this channel. But Jashar, OG mod, Taylor, OG mod, Omar, Yaya, OG mod. Sorry, I'm going off on a tangent, but yeah, man, yeah, them 3 mods, OGs from early. Jashar, man, if you watch this video after, leave a comment or something. At the very least, let me know all is well. Reese says, support the one YouTuber that is common sense. Thanks for being the voice of reason, Big T. Big up, Reese, man. Love, bro. Love. Appreciate the super chat, but I appreciate the love much more. I can't lie to you. Keep on saying it, but I went quiet on this channel for a bit. People like you still supported. People like you are still here. So, you know, I can't say love for the love enough. You know, so big up you for the super chat, but more importantly, big up you for the love and support. Goes a long way. I see you as well, Brandon, reiterating the same thing, and a couple others actually. So Bajan Guna as well, bro. Oh, about the OG mods. Come on, Sefer as well. Big up Turkish. I hope you're blessed, bro. I'm proud and disappointed of Arsenal this season. I think both 100% disappointed and proud but disappointed. Those two are the general consensus I think makes sense. But we need a Isak with a Neto, Elise, or a Kudus to compete with Saka. The left wing is already covered with Trossard and Martinelli. Big up JC as well. Neto, Elise, Kudus. Yep, I'd like any one of those. Can't lie to you. Neto injury. Okay, I'd like any one of those. I like all 3 of them. Good competition for Saka, not just competition, but players that could potentially, do something. You know, get ahead of him like a Trossard did with Martinelli, for example. Isak, yes, you already know how I feel about that. Left wing is already covered. I disagree. I think we need something. I just feel like the left is missing something. I think it's the left 8 more than anything. I think an 8 will assist Martinelli and Trossard. So yeah, let's go with what you said. Let's go with what you said. Come on. Faisal says, if we win 2 cups but finish second, is that success? So if we finish FA Cup is success, of course. And the FA Cup and Carabao together, that's 2 cups. You win the domestic cups. Cool. That is success. 100%. You define that as success. Finishing second is not success, but That's further. You see how someone might say, someone might ask me, what happens if Arteta doesn't win the league next year? It's just a surface level. Let's say Faisal, he wins the FA Cup, the Carabao Cup, goes to the Champions League semi-final or final and loses it, and we finish second to Man City again on 91 points this time, or 89 points again, or 88 points. Let's say we push it to game week 36, 37, 38 again. Is that the same as finishing 13 points off, knowing you're not winning the league in March, dropping out of the Champions League in the quarters, FA Cup, nowhere? Very different. So it's hard to answer a question about 2025 now when there's so many different angles to look at it from. So I'm gonna wait for those angles to direct and show themselves. And once those angles are there, people, we will discuss. We will discuss. Big up Barbados. Come on. Come on. A few Bajans. Big up Daniel. Can you recommend? Yeah, I'll let Dan Potts know. I'll let Dan Potts know. Right, we got a few. Come on. I've seen a few Barbados facts. All right, people, I'm going to wrap it up here. What I will say is there's a playback link in the live chat. There's a playback link in the description. I'm going to be on FC24 at half three UK time. So in an hour, 15 minutes, I'll be on FC24. I'm Luton manager now. It's peak. But join me there. Another super chat's coming as well. JJ says, not a dig, but I understand why rivals wanted City to win it. I haven't seen any celebration pictures. It's like that. It's done. Forgotten. Crazy. Yeah. That is it. And again, this is, again, no disrespect, because if I'm a Man City fan, I don't really care how others, take in our wins. Like if Arsenal win the league and everyone's ignoring it and whatnot, I don't give a shit. I'll remind you about it. But yeah, essentially that is what it is. The example, the proof is there. Same thing happened last season. Don't forget, on the final day, we was trending. Or after they won Champions League, we was trending for, I don't know why. We was in Europa League, or we was out of the league by game week 32, 33. So I don't remember why. So 100% for rival fans. Look, you think people like to get onto me and try and say, "Oh, how are you gonna let Matisse talk shit or Tobes talk shit?" And because people, I'm live with them twice a week, every week. Do you think I got the energy to be battling Tottenham and Chelsea fans every single week? It's a never-ending argument. They're not gonna wake up one day and love Arsenal or like Arsenal or think fondly of Arsenal. They hate Arsenal. So sometimes you just let people talk who like to talk. You get the clips out of it, and you find out how full of shit they are. Big up Jackie Chan, Rush Hour. Come on, classic OG. It's facts. I'm not going to argue this week in, week out with Tottenham and Chelsea fans. Oh, you don't rate Kai Havertz? Okay. I'm going to argue it for the 17th week in a row now. Oh, you don't rate Mikel? I'm going to argue it for the 3rd year in a row now. Brother, I'm pretty much on YouTube every day in some way, shape, or form. I'm tired. Sometimes I've got, you got to pick your battles. And right now, I'm picking the battles with City, and I'm picking the battles potentially Liverpool. We'll see how they move forward. And whoever else that apparently are going to spend more money and do something next year, because that's what I keep on hearing. How can you say that you're going to win the league next year? Like Chelsea are not going to spend more money, and United. If you lot think Chelsea and Man United are going to challenge for a league title next year, go to the doctors. Go to the doctors. I'm telling you, go to the doctors, because there's something seriously wrong with your system, potentially nerve damage. Like there's something wrong. Because that is crazy that people are saying that to me. How can you think it's just going to be you and City? It's not going to even be Liverpool. Yeah, I said that this season, and in the end, it wasn't. People were like, "Oh, how can you say that? Klopp this, Klopp that." Because of what I was seeing from Arteta and Arsenal. That's what that's what made me believe we will be City's closest challengers at the very least. But yeah, I don't know how many people are in the building, because YouTube numbers, it's all over the gaff. But hit the like button. I will be on Playback at 3:30 p.m. The link is there, playback.tv/Turkish LDN. FC24 at 3:30, and playback.tv/the big six. FC24 tonight at 10 p.m. The road to Division 2 continues. Love for the love as always, people. Let me know what other content you want to see. Should I wrap up the season with player of the seasons and top fives and all of that? Or is it about moving forward and looking at the transfer window and getting some top 5 transfer targets and a keep or sell done? Let me know in the comment section. Love for the love, people. I'm out. Peace.